Welcome to Barbados.
Sugar used to be our #1 industry years ago. Now tourism taken over. That's our cricket ground, Kensington Oval. That's where the World Cup was held about 20 years ago. To your left is the Light and Power Company. This is the main structure. There are 11 power ships on the island. This is one of the sections here where Rihanna had bought.
I told you we've been traveling and traveling and traveling for a long time. This is not nothing new and started picking up a camera and doing something. No. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, now you gon' know.
This is JP, and this is the JP Way.
Welcome to Barbados. This is Thursday, October something, 2014. I don't know the date. I believe it's the 16th, October 16th. But anyway, we just got here a minute. We'll be making our way down to the gangway to get on off and go on with the rest of the people. We pretty much done, I'm not gonna say excellent because we had a St. Martin got canceled, but other than that, the weather was supposed to rain like every day. I haven't really seen it drop except a 20-minute drizzle or a 10-minute drizzle the other day, and it was like very light mist. And that's been it. Other than that, lots of sun or partly cloudy and like 86 degrees. But I just wanted to give you all a little pan around, just a little bit, show you a little something from up top here on the boat before we go on down there and try and get a tour or something like that. Then try and show you a little bit more. But that's about it. All right, welcome to Barbados. Don't look like too much going on out here, especially since I just showed you from up top there. Probably like back there.
As you can tell, Barbados is more advanced. They got a whole pork shop thing. Look at the floor. Nice. So they got money here. They definitely got money here. They're more established and everything here. So they got more money and everything established here. Look at how the yeah, it's like a mall, you know what I'm saying? You went to Antigua? No. St. Croix? No. St. Lucia? No. This the only one. Barbados, come outside here. It's kind of like like Antigua a little bit, except they not as aggressive as Antigua. They'll follow you for miles trying to get that fare. But we got Joseph, he's going to get his big Toyota. Everybody, that's all they about getting Toyotas. As you can see, it should be pretty good. Stay tuned.
If you look over here to your right, the silver cube, that's where we store the molasses.
Okay.
And beyond the molasses is the sugar shoe. Yes. Sugar used to be our #1 industry years ago. Now tourism taken over. The reason being is that the people don't want to cut the sugar by hand.
Yeah.
So we had to bring the machinery. Sometimes the machinery tends to destroy the sugar canes, but still they have a lot of sugar canes on the island as well.
Okay.
And you will see some of them as we go through the countryside of the island.
Right. Take me over Rihanna's house.
I'm going to show you the one where she actually raised up.
Where she was raised?
Yeah, where she was raised.
Oh yeah.
And then one actually where she bought. To your right, there's the Hilton Hotel. That's one of our 5-star hotels. The buildings both to the left and the right, these are what we call industrial buildings or industries.
Right.
The one directly in front of you may call the airline tickets. Barbados is 21 miles long by 14 miles wide, 21 by 14.
Okay. Okay.
166 square miles.
Okay.
There are 300,000 people live on the island, but if you look on the world map, Barbados is just a little dot, but it's well populated. There are 4 towns on the island. Bridgetown, which is the capital. Holetown, where the first settlers came to the island in 1605. Town used to call Little Bristol years ago. That really used to run by the English. Town is where you get most of your fish from and a lot of your nightlife. But Barbados got independent the 30th of November 1966. We have our own Prime Minister, we have our own Governor General. We go to the polls every 5 years. Yeah, we still we have our own laws, but still some under the British Commonwealth.
Okay.
To your left, coming up this that's the way you collect all of your cargo and what's not. And beyond that is the Bico factory to the left as well. The Barbados paper product is over to the right. And to the left coming up is the chocolate factory.
Chocolate factory?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. I thought he said toilet.
To your left is what we call the party cruiser. The party cruiser is like when you go to see and drink the rampants and go out tasty. This is actually like when we hold like the party stand. Open atmosphere, live music, karaoke, what's not. Directly in front of you is where all the fishing boats and yachts ride off. And here as well is where you find the Tiami cruise. The Tiami cruise is like when you go to see and drink the rampants and get all tipsy. You don't know when you're back on land. Come up directly in front of you or slightly to your right. That's our cricket ground, Kensington Oval. That's where the World Cup was held about 20 years ago. The statue that you can see there is the oldest living legend. It's called Sir Garfield Sobers. He played most of his cricket in England with a team called Lancashire. The highway we're on is called the Spring Garden Highway. I'll tell you a little bit about this highway as we get further down the streets. The green and blue building to the left is the Atlantis Submarine. To your left is the Caribbean side of the island. To your right is the Atlantis side. I'm going to take you on the second highest point on the island.
Okay.
Where you can actually overlook the Atlantis side. These trees to the left are what we call mahogany trees. But these are some very small ones. You'll see some bigger ones as we go inland. The minimum wage is $200 a week. Crime on the island is at a low status. We mainly get our crime rate drug related. I don't say we don't get crime on the island. Yes, we get crime, but most of our crimes count rate drug related.
Okay.
And actually the government have a very close stick on that.
Okay.
Here on the island as well, we get free education on the island and free health care. If you look directly in front of you on top of the hill, the pink building and the green building,
Yes.
that's the University of the West Indies.
Okay.
But as we get further down, the ones in the back will see it on top of the hill. We're going to pass close to that as well. This highway we're on is called the Spring Garden Highway. This highway is where after the crop is finished. Our crop season normally starts from about January, it goes right down to July, August. When the crop is finished, this street here is being blocked. Whereas the people on this street dance with all types of music and costumes for one day.
Oh yeah.
They are now planning out to extend it for 2 days. In some other countries they call it Carnival, but we call it Crop Over Festival here.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And what month is that?
Late July, early August.
Okay.
That's after the crop is finished. Or the crops normally start from about January.
Okay.
To your left is the Light and Power Company. This is the main structure. There are 11 parishes on the island. And each parish has an outpost Light and Power Company. But this is the main structure. And it works off oil.
Okay. That's the main power plant.
Yes, this is the main. But each parish has an outpost. There are 11 parishes on the island.
11. Okay.
Over to your left is the Caribbean side. This is where we do most of our snorkeling, scuba diving, jet ski riding, and what's not. Our main dish on the island is flying fish and cuckoo. Cuckoo is like a cornmeal. Barbadians like what we call Barbadians like the food very spicy.
Yeah. Fly fish.
Yeah, flying fish. To your left, used to call Paradise Beach years ago. Then Sanders had bought it. Sanders is a Jamaican company. What Sanders had wanted to do was to make the beach private. The government will not allow it. This land was lying here for almost 6 years. So a group of company by the name of Four Seasons. They are building hotels, private residential area, and condominiums right to the left. The building directly in front of you, this is the part of the University of the West Indies. And the remainder of the building is on top of the hill to your right.
Okay.
This is one of our service stations. Gas on the island is very expensive.
Yeah.
Gas on the island is $12 a gallon. It's very expensive on the island. Where the high cost comes, we have oil on the island, but it doesn't have the amount that can supply our country. So where the high cost comes is the importation from Venezuela.
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually where the high cost comes. The bus in front of you, this is the private transportation. The private one is yellow and blue. The government one is blue and yellow.
Okay.
But all pay the same fare.
Okay.
School children ride free on buses, and elderly people at the age of 65 ride free as well.
Okay.
Barbados is made of what we call coral limestone. You can drink the water directly from the tap. You doesn't have to boil it nor purify it. You can just turn on the tap and drink the water. Because we are coral limestone island. Sometimes you go to the countryside, you actually see the water penetrating through the coral limestone. To your left, these houses or these buildings are directly on the coastline or are on the coral limestone.
Yeah.
As I told you earlier, there are no private beaches on this island.
Right.
I'm going to make a stop as I get further down, but you can actually look down the coastline of the island as well. To your left, it's called the Waves and Spa. Over the side as well, when the moon is out, people sleep on the beaches here. People bring their barbecue grills, their picnic basket, and just relax.
Don't nobody bother them while they out there.
Nobody bother them. Sometimes they even cook on the beaches at night. I'm going to make a short pause so we can actually look down the coastline of the island. Here as well, if you come here early in the morning, sometimes you see the turtles on the beaches. The turtle comes in comes in at night and lay the eggs on the beach.
Oh yeah.
You ever heard about a tree called knee?
No.
Here, this tree here. Knee, yeah.
Yeah.
If you suffer high blood pressure, what we do, we boil the water and put the leaves into the water, and you can actually steep it and drink it.
Oh, yeah.
What some of the people even do, some of the people just wash the leaves and chew on them. But the leaves have a little bitterness on them, but eventually sometimes you get accustomed to it. So they have a little berry on it. When it turns yellow. When it turns yellow, people eat them.
Are they sweet?
They're not bitter, but they have a little sweetness in them.
No sweet. No.
Yeah. See the little yellow berry there? Mm-hmm. Right. Spit them and eat them. Look at the yellow berry. You want to the flower here? You want to call the French mountain? It should do something, it should have bitter.
I ain't got nothing to rinse it off, but I guess I could use a little spit. I say I ain't got no water, but I could use some spit.
They do a lot of snorkeling. This side is the Atlanta side. They actually do a surfing. This side is the Caribbean side? Yeah, the Caribbean side. The barbecue grill, the picnic basket, the beers, the rampart, even sometimes the fish. Wow. And I said tomorrow is a bank holiday. They relax all tonight, right through to tomorrow on the beach. They cook, sometimes they set up a little fire on the beach and do the cook and watch now. This is more like a Christian-like place.
Okay.
But the main denomination is the Anglican, and the Anglican come from the time of the British. I'm going to take you to one of the churches. The church is over 100 years old. These are villas, long-term, short-term rental.
Okay.
Even over on this side, land is very expensive on the beach line.
Oh, I bet.
Once you're buying beachfront land, you're looking in the millions.
Oh.
Millions. We have a local beer on the island as well. It's called a Banks beer.
Thanks, beer.
Yeah, Banks is a local beer. It's still a part of St. James. This coast is what we call it the Platinum Coast.
What you call it? Platinum.
Platinum Coast, yes.
Because of the house is called so much platinum.
Especially on the coastline. They have villas on the beach and the inland as well. To your left is the Crystal Cove Hotel.
Crystal Cove.
Crystal Cove.
Okay.
All inclusive. They have some, but not all of them are all inclusive, but they have some of them are all inclusive.
Oh, I got that shell out here, huh? First, like, American gas station I done, like, seen.
It's our private home that you can see over here as well.
Oh, man, that's a nice Mercedes sitting there.
That's a private home. Yeah.
Those gates are made of mahogany. Coming up to the left, they used to call Coconut Creek years ago. It's now called Sandy Cove. It has changed hands, but it's not fully completed as yet. And as we go around the corner, it's called a Cliff Restaurant. It's very popular, it's very beautiful, but it's very expensive. You are actually sitting over the sea.
Oh, yeah?
Here is where we call the Cliff Restaurant.
Okay.
The cliff.
Coming out here to your left, a Cubana plane was bombed down out of the air on the 6th of October 1976. So they have a monument just a little further down there. That monument there was built there in commemoration of the bombing. But they didn't actually find who had really bombed the plane. Some of them were actually Cuban students who were actually on the flight. But what normally happens,
Sorry about that.
so every year around the 6th of October, the government from Cuba come here and they hold a church service and they lay wreaths.
Is that right? Okay.
Those are the names at the side there who were on the flight.
Okay.
This area is what we call Paynes Bay. The Methodist Church over to the right. It's called the Paynes Bay Methodist Church. Coming up to your left is the Outpost Fish Market. But the main fish market is in the capital.
Okay.
What is the capital of Barbados?
Bridgetown.
Bridgetown.
Right, you actually, I'm going to take you to the capital as well and tell you the history about our capital before we go back to the ship.
This is a hotel?
Those are condos.
Condo?
Yeah. Long-term, short-term rental. Here you have Daphne's restaurant. You can either dine indoors or you dine on the beach.
Okay.
The Tamarind Cove Hotel to the left.
That's what?
Tamarind Cove Hotel. Right down to your left here is the Asia chain link of hotels. But where there's a hotel built, they must leave a pathway so you can actually get to the beach.
Okay.
In this area is where we call Paynes Bay here. Paynes Bay, actually, this is where you find the turtles.
Okay.
Over here is where you go to see the turtles. This is the government bus here.
Okay.
So you have to pay to see the turtles?
No. Here is what we call, this is a typical chattel house. The word chattel means removable. You see a lot of them like in the countryside. Those are some mahogany trees here to the right as well. You cannot destroy those mahogany trees as you like. If you got caught destroying it, you'll have to pay a penalty. To your left coming up, this is one of the sections here where Rihanna had bought.
Say where? Wait a minute, hold on.
Here to the left. It's called One Sandy Lane.
This is State Chief.
That's big, too. Oh,
This is what a typical coral limestone building is like.
okay.
And what normally happens, there's like rich people who come to the island and don't want to stay at the hotel. This way they will stay.
Okay.
And here's the pathway that will take you directly to the beach.
Okay.
In this area, the Sandy Lane area, this is where you find the rich people live.
Okay.
Sometimes you don't ever see their homes. All this is a lot of trees around their homes.
Yes.
And over here as well is where Tiger Woods was married. He was married on the beach.
Okay.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods.
Yes, and he played most of his golf over on this side as well. He have a tournament that goes on over on this side. Sandy Lane Hotel is to the left coming up. This is the HSA for Sandy Lane Hotel. Some of them are rental villas.
Okay.
All these are private homes you can see over the side as well. These are part of the golf courses you can see over the side. Even some of these houses have their own mini golf course at the back. Over this side is where you find like the rich people live as well too. Most of these private homes.
Okay.
We're gonna go to the main golf house, then we go down to Holetown. There's a private house there right in front of you there.
Wow.
This is what the typical coral limestone is like.
Yeah, that's a house, yes. Who lives there, you know?
It's not fully completed yet, but it's just a private home. I ain't sure exactly who it's really concerned.
Okay. How much would a home like that cost?
Close to 3 million or over. But they have a lot of land space as well too.
Okay.
So the land space they have.
Yeah.
Whopper has a house over on the other side. Whopper Wilfrey.
Yeah. Got a house on all the islands.
I got a book to read.
No better. They have problems. But no one.
are golf courses on both sides. I just want to take you up to let you see the main golf course. And then we go down to Holetown as well. There's actually where the big games play over the side.
Is this private or public?
It's privately owned, but anyone can play golf if you want. You just come to the golf house. They want your family shit, they give you a special package.
Okay. Do you golf?
So again?
You play golf?
No, I like to watch it, but I'm not a golf person.
Okay. How about cricket? You play cricket?
Yeah, cricket.
Yeah. Okay.
Football. Yeah. It's called a country club.
Upper class?
Yeah, this is the entrance here for the sun, for the golf course.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
And the red flowers here is a bougainvillea. You get that all different colors. Years ago, all this surrounding area here used to be sugarcane. As I told you earlier, sugar used to be our #1 industry. Now tourism taken over.
So you say machinery don't harvest sugarcane too good, huh?
Yeah, it will harvest, but when the rain falls, that's actually when it tends to destroy the sugarcane. But you know, the soil is very soft.
Okay.
Just want to see the natural waterfall here.
Can you drink that water?
No, they won't allow you to drink it. Well, it does it.
Can you drink that water?
No, they won't allow you to drink it. But it's not really actually flowing that well, so they won't allow you. Holetown is where the first settlers came to the island in 1605. In the early days, actually, Barbados used to run by the slave. Because the slave actually who used to cut all the sugar cane on the island.
Any of the native people left, the original, before the settlers came?
Say again?
Are any of the original people left from the times, that it
Yes.
wasn't always African?
No.
Okay. So what was it? The native people, Indians? What did they call it? Original people?
Mostly the is more like black Africans like. Those gates are made of mahogany. Even Ricky.
Mahogany is expensive here as it is in the United States.
Well, yes, it's very expensive here. Especially like mahogany furniture and bags and those kinds of things. It's very expensive. People make a lot of ornaments, those kinds of things out of mahogany. This is one of Ricky Martin's house.
Oh, really? Oh, let me get you some water.
The roof of that house is made of clay. That clay you find in the Atlantic side of the island. The cemetery of the St. James Parish Church. But the church is further down the street. They no longer bury anyone around the church. To your right as well is the Golden View condos.
So they used to bury right at the church.
Yes, they used to, but they no longer bury. Over here is where they actually do the burying ground now. The buildings to the left, these are the old model villas. Villas that belongs to people who bred and born on the island but spend most of their time out. But what they normally do, if they have friends and family coming to the island, this is where they would normally stay. It's called Sunset Crest, but it's a part of Holetown. To your left is a private clinic. If you look at the structure of these chattel houses here, can withstand any hurricane. You might find the building here fall before the chattel house above.
Oh yeah?
They had one single hurricane that struck Barbados, Hurricane Janet, in 1955. And other than that, we had no more, we just get a lot of rain and some strong wind.
No hurricanes?
No hurricanes.
Really?
And these are villas on the beach. There's a central part of Holetown here. Side Beach Bar and Restaurant. You had a post office, the polyclinic, the police station here to the left. Over to your right is one of our fast food places called KFC. Go finger licking. You probably know about that one, eh?
Yes, sir.
They are plenty of them choke the island. Actually, here is where the first settlers came to the island in 1605. This here was more like a channel like.
Okay.
The building coming up to your right, or slightly in front of you. There's a Methodist church here, but coral limestone. Shortly we'll be approaching the Anglican church as well. The building to the right is a multi-million complex. It's called the Lime Grove.
No, it's exclusive, man.
It's not fully completed yet. To your left coming up, it's called a Discovery Beer. It was recently renovated. If you look over to your right, at the far end, is the secondary school. The one closer to you is the primary school. Each school on the island has its own uniform. You can tell what school a person is going to by the uniform.
Okay.
And where education is concerned on the island, everyone must go to school.
Yeah.
If the government find you, the parent, are not sending your child to school, you can do time imprisonment for that.
Okay.
Because the education system on the island is free. If you are unable to send your child to school, the government actually have a welfare department that looks after that. Here's the St. James Anglican Church to your right. This church was originated in 1626. You are feel free to enter the church. You can take pictures.
Settlers from the UK arrived in Barbados and landed just about 400 yards or so away. I don't know whether the driver pointed it out to you, but it's only about 400 yards from where we are standing. Amongst the settlers was a Church of England priest from Kent in England, and I'm sure he was instrumental in choosing this site. The island was covered in dense tropical forest, and you can well imagine what happened. If you were cast on a desert island and told to survive, get on with it, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit there and say, well, Mommy, what is this? Daddy, what is this? Come and help me. No, you're going to get on with it. Life must go on. And they chose the building material that was available in numbers, that is trees. Now when those early settlers crossed the Atlantic, they also met a slave ship. And the pews were made of teak. Teak was a very popular tree at the time. And you know the phrase, it's tough as teak. And it is good, tough wood. It was used to make the sleepers on the railways and so on. All the other building material, apart from the coral, was came back from the UK, the small bricks and so on. And the reason for that is because when the ships went from Barbados loaded with sugar and rum and molasses and so on, they couldn't come back empty. Not crossing the Atlantic with storms and hurricanes. You needed some ballast. And they brought back bricks for construction. They also brought back agricultural tools and implements. Any Canadians on board? Any Canadians here? Okay. Well, let me tell you what our court came from Canada. And that was their diet, 365. Okay? Canada was the first country outside of England that Barbados did trade with. And that stained glass window is a thanks to them as we remember all those Barbadians who died in the First World War. The reason for that is also simple. Barbados is the only island in the West Indies that has remained British throughout its history. I said it's a coral island, and as a result of that, there's a natural coral ridge left right around the island. The only exception is on the west coast. And did you come in by ship?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, when the cruise ship came down the west coast, he had to stop and take on board a pilot in order to navigate the narrow passage to come into the harbor or the port. To invade Barbados, otherwise you will come to grief. And we all remember about 3 years ago what happened to the Concordia just outside Sicily, I think it was. Well, that's what would happen. And that's what happened to a lot of the others during those early years of exploration.
Where you learn to snorkel though, back in there?
Teach how to snorkel.
This is the picnic area.
Heading over now to the Atlantic side.
Okay. Say to the Atlantic side.
My friend had a boom. He had a stick. West Coast Garden Center, make a lot of bouquet flowers. The Royal Westmoreland Estate. All of those are mahogany trees you can see within there. As I told you earlier, you cannot destroy those mahogany trees you like. That's just like sugar cane. You cannot burn sugar cane on the island. If you get caught burning sugar cane, you can do time imprisonment for that. To your left, those are condos. These condos are actually like for large family who come to spend a long time on the island. But years ago, what they used to do, I don't know if they still does it, but what they used to do years ago, they used to give you free transportation along with it. It's called the Sugar Hill. It has its own security. And here's the entrance for the Sugar Hill.
Okay.
Estate. I'm going to turn at the mouth of the Royal Westmoreland because you are not actually allowed to go in unless you are going to someone. There are over 150 villas run right down that coast. And at the back of the villas is the golf course. were sold.
They were sold off?
Yeah, even before they started the build.
Wow.
And what normally happens, you have some like foreign investors who actually invest over on this side as well. You can actually drive right across the main road.
Like that direct TV out here.
Yeah, you have direct mighty choice. What we call breadfruit tree there. You see most of them we actually go further in the countryside. Breadfruit. Just how we make potato chips, we make breadfruit chips. On top of the house there is the solar water heater. And it operates from the sun.
Now the people that own these houses own the land all the way up to the sea.
Say again?
The people that own these houses, do they own the land? Are we getting farther away from the sea now?
Yeah, we're actually going away from the sea.
Right,
Yeah, we're going away from the sea. We are now on this one. As I told you earlier, this highway was named after 3 members of parliament. A is for Adams, he was the Prime Minister of the island. B is for Barrow, he was the Prime Minister when Barbados got independent in 1966. And C is for Cadwell, he was the Member of Parliament. So they call it the ABC Highway.
Okay.
This can run from the northern side of the island right to the southern side of the island.
Is that right? Okay. It's the main highway.
Yeah, this is one of the main highways. And we have an international airport on the island as well.
Okay.
It's called the Adams International Airport. The Concorde used to come here every Saturday and Sunday.
Oh yeah?
And when the Concorde stopped flying, it flew to Barbados and they leave one on the island.
Oh, it's one still here, huh?
Yeah, it's just next to the airport. We now use it now as historic purposes and tourist attraction. If you look over there to the right, the tall cube, that used to be a plantation, but before that was a plantation, that used to house over 400 slaves. But it's now being a private house. But the structure still remains of the same texture.
Oh yeah?
I was about to say it looked like them right there.
Yeah, see the. If you look over there, you'll see the pink house. But what it does, they know they do open house there. And over that side, they do open house. That house, actually open house there. The building to the right is the school meals department. The government provides school meals for all of the primary schools every day. Thomas Anglican Church. The one we've been to earlier was the St. James. Each parish on the island has its own Anglican church. We are now in the parish of St. Thomas. This is one of the parishes that are not surrounded by sea or water. Actually, every house on the island actually has in like running water, electricity. This is the village where the slaves used to live. But you won't see no more chattel houses now, but these houses is what we call it typical chattel. Yeah, can move at any time. And this is a typical countryside, is where you find a lot of fruit trees and what's not.
What kind of fruit trees?
All types of fruit trees. Mango, apple, guava, but some of those fruits have like a season. And you find like some of them actually you'll find them all season, all year round. And over the side as well is where you find a lot of dairy farms. The pink building to your left coming up is the outpost hostile. This is for the elderly people that cannot look after themselves. Yeah. The government looks after them. So they have the apple tree here. The breadfruit trees where you can see here. Normally we roast the breadfruit.
Really?
Yeah, we roast them.
You say breadfruit?
Breadfruit.
Roasted?
Roast them. We get a wood fire and put it on top of the wood fire and roast them.
You season it in any kind of way or just roast it?
Just roast it and you eat it like with butter.
With butter?
Yeah.
Good.
Or what some of the guys does as well. They cut it in the center with the stem and put a pigtail on the inside.
Inside the grapefruit?
Inside the breadfruit.
And roast it?
And roast it.
Put a what in there?
Pigtail. These are houses here that the government is building as well. To your left is the prep school. It's called the Wiggle and Giggle. Playing fields. They play cricket and football, and some people call soccer. This is a black belly sheep you can see over to the right here. Some of them are beef cows, some of them are milk cows.
Surfing? Which
Yeah,
side?
Atlantic.
Okay.
How far is Trinidad from here?
Trinidad is about, in flying, Trinidad could be about 45 minutes the most.
Wow.
Per hour.
Got time to charter a jet. We'll wait on you till you get back. Yeah, we'll meet you at the port.
So, you want to put that one on layaway?
Yeah, take us all down to Trinidad. Yeah, book us a vacation.
Put it on layaway.
That right in front of you used to be a plantation. That was a plant nursery. Make a lot of bouquet flowers. If you look here, the sheepskin that they have there high out. See over there?
Yeah.
Those are sheepskin. Yes, sheep.
Where at?
Straight in.
That's what they make those export those as well though. Some people make like bags and hats and those kinds of things, the belts. Right.
So this is the highest, the second highest point in Barbados, 1,000 something plus feet above sea level. All right, let me do a zoom test here. That's as far as I'll be able to go out before it start to get all jumpy and grainy. Pretty decent though. Birds.
Good. He's gone with it.
They gonna
I
get
thought
it.
they were gonna share it.
Dude. Boy, gone. No, he gone. And straight ahead of you, what we call Broad Street, one of his main shopping streets.
Straight ahead?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a one way you can only drive up. Swan Street is over on the other side. Swan Street, you can only walk. Years ago, you used to drive to Swan Street.
Oh, yeah. Now you got a
But
park.
Yeah. Huh? Okay. There's one of a shopping plaza directly in front of you. It's the Charles Duncan Olney Bridge. There's a government bus terminal there to the left. Just going to pause here a bit. This is actually the capital here. This Broad Street here. And diagonal where you can see the Royal Bank is Swan Street.
Okay.
You can walk through Swan Street. You cannot drive.
Okay.
The stores are on both sides. Over here now, this bridge here, this bridge open up.
Oh, okay. But
Years ago, the ships would come right up to the canal. The bridge will open up and the ship will dock over there.
okay.
But the ships are so huge now. That's why they dock over the terminal.
Okay.
So this way the main yachts and thing being launched thing right now. Over to the right, the building to the right is the Member of Parliament. This is where the Prime Minister conduct all of his meetings. This is the third oldest parliament in the Western Hemisphere. In this area is what we call Trafalgar Square. If you look at this, a typical coral limestone building. If you look in England, they have one of those, what we call Nelson statue. In this area, because in England as well, you got what we call a Trafalgar Square, and you have a Nelson in Trafalgar Square. But this one is much older than the one in England.
How about that?
During that time that was actually in Barbados, the British used to control Barbados before we got independent.
Right.
This boardwalk here can actually take you close down to where your ship is docked.
Is that right?
I'm going to go further inland so you can actually see. So here now is where all the yachts are being launched. This building here, if you look at this building, the clay that I show you the Atlantic side, that's what this building is made of.
Okay.
The immigration department is directly in front of you. That's Swan Street over the other side that run the same way as Broad Street, but you only walk. the abattoir.
Okay.
If you look over to the right at the back, the building that's not painted, that's the main post office. The main fish market is here to the left. This is where you can actually come and see the people actually scaling the fish. This is where the big boats, deep sea fishing and whatnot comes in. Over to your right is the government bus terminal. The building to your right is what we call Pelican Village. Pelican Village is where you get all your local arts and craft from, things that are locally made.